Now, Wealth Institute family members, please, if you know somebody that needs to get paid, somebody that's looking for the economic liberation, and they need to learn how to trade stocks, and they need to look for a particular position that is affordable, that is on the move, that is tied into some of the state-of-the-art technology that is indeed affecting life as we know it and will be changing life both near and far, then you need to pick up the phone and give them a call. Because I'm about to give you some information and show you real time, okay, a position that you were made aware of 4 months ago to the day on September the 25th. In fact, you can go to our website right now at www.askthewiz.info. That's www.askthewiz.info. Go to the right-hand side of our homepage, and you will see, dated September the 25th, 2017, 4 months ago, an interview that was given here live inside the Classroom That Walls radio broadcast with the CEO of a company called K6. K6. Now, at that time, the company was called K6 and traded under the symbol KSIX. And the very dynamic CEO and chairman of the company, Brian Cox, was our live on the air guest. He also came inside that Ask the Wiz Wall Street virtual trader room and talked about his vision, if you will, for the company then known as K6 Holdings. Now, you can listen to that radio interview. It's on demand on our homepage after today's live Classroom Not Walls radio broadcast. Now, he outlined and he mentioned some things that he was going to push forward as the new chairman and CEO of the company. And those things, family members, have actually occurred. Now, for those of you that are engaging in Interactive Radio, I want you to go to www.yahoofinance.com. That's www.yahoofinance.com quickly. Okay? Now, once you go to www.yahoofinance.com, I want you to punch in the symbol SURG. That's SURG, because Mr. Cox changed the symbol and the name of the company to SURG Holdings. And the new ticker symbol is SURG, no longer K6. Okay? All right, great. Now, what I want you to do is go to the, once you punch in SURG, I want you then to go, and I need for you to punch in, if you will, let's go back to 6 months, because it was 4 months ago, okay, in September, that Mr. Cox was a guest here live inside the Classroom That Walls radio broadcast. So let's go back to 6 months, because you see up at the top, they have 1 month and then 6M. Click on 6M, okay? Now that would then put you, all right, under the 6 month acronym, that will put you back into September of last year. All right? Now, when you go back to September of last year, something interesting is presented to you. Okay? Now, on one of my screens, I'm able to go back 6 months, and then on my other screen, Yahoo is locked in, and it's only letting me go back to January the 16th. So I don't know whether or not you can see what I'm seeing on my alternate screen here. But the price of K6, okay, back in September of last year, when Mr. Cox was live here inside the Classroom That Walls radio broadcast, the price of K6 then was between 28 cents and 34 cents a share. This company is traded over the counter, OTC stock. They plan on continuing to cause the underlying stock price to rise, and then they're going to relist on the NASDAQ. But I want to show you something. See, this is how the uber wealthy get PAID, by thinking unconventionally. I told you, when you think conventionally, well, then you will be like the masses. But if you want to move to the next level, you must think unconventionally. Warren Buffett thinks unconventionally. Carl Icahn thinks unconventionally. George Soros thinks unconventionally. Elon Musk thinks unconventionally. And the chairman and CEO of K6, Brian Cox, thinks unconventionally. Now, look at the rise of this particular stock in a mere 4 months. Okay? The stock, since it was relisted also and trades under the symbol SURG, it leaped again. So you see now the stock has hit a 52-week high, and this occurred in the last 2 weeks, of $1.45. Now, in the spirit of complete disclosure, yours truly has 250,000 shares of this particular company. Once again, in the spirit of disclosure, I have 250,000 shares of this particular company. My money has more than quadrupled in the last 4 months. Now, all of this is on the strength and leadership of this avant-garde chairman and CEO, Brian Cox. Now, I have spoken with this man on several occasions, and everything that he says that he's going to do, he does. Now, shareholders who had the stock prior to Mr. Cox becoming the chairman and CEO of the company, we call them legacy shareholders. And they are so amazed at the stock run-up. When they had the stock at 20 cents and the like, way back when it was listed at K6, they have taken their money and run. Okay? Now, that's the only way you can get PAID in trading and investing is you have to sell. But as you see, these people, they're not looking to give horse in the mouth. Okay? So what they're looking at is like, look, our 20-something cent, our 30-something cent stock has gone up at one time more than $1.45. Okay? In the last 2 weeks, yes, we're going to get our money because they've quadrupled and some, have 5 times the amount of money in the position. And so, family, what I'm saying to you is this particular company, the leader is so intelligent. This Brian Cox. Let me tell you a little bit about this fellow. In fact, let me back up and tell you how I met this guy. A good friend of mine who works with Floyd Mayweather out in Las Vegas called me one day and he said, look, there's a guy I need for you to meet. And I get these calls all the time. Okay? I get at least 7 of these calls a week. All right? And so he goes on to tell me, well, this guy, he knows about a particular company that is a up-and-coming company. The company is going through some internal changes, and this company is going to be focusing, one of its many facets is going to be on this blockchain technology. Now, the person who was talking to me, he's not a tech guy. So for him to be telling me about blockchain, and I've been talking to you about blockchain technology for over a year before anybody knew about cryptocurrencies really blowing up, and that blockchain technology is the undergird of all cryptocurrencies. For me to have somebody who's a dear friend of mine, but he ain't no technology genius, he's not an MIT graduate, talking to me about blockchain, that let me know that the person that he wanted me to talk to was sharp. Okay? Might be somebody that I can give 5-10 minutes of my time to see whether or not it'd be plausible to move forward. So they set up a conference call. So I'm talking to the intermediary, okay, between me and Brian Cox, who is the wonderful chairman and CEO of now SURG Holdings. And so the intermediary was very sharp. And I would pepper him with questions just to test his level of knowledge on certain things. And he was honest. That which he did not know the answer to, he would say, Dr. Reaves, can I get back with you? And I'd say yes. Thinking not to hear from him, thinking I scared him off, because I can be a little bit aggressive sometimes, asking questions. And the guy would call right back. Okay, 15, 20 minutes later. Okay, all in the same day. Well, Dr. Reaves, I found this out, and I did this, I did that. So I said, this might be something that would command my attention. Now, I always have to be careful because people know about the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute, and they always want to get access to our membership, base. Because we're pushing 26,000 plus or minus members strong. So can you imagine somebody having that many people buying into their stock? Yeah, okay, they're looking at a monetary bonanza. So I have to be very careful, and I shield my beloved ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute family. And so a conference call was set up between Mr. Cox and myself. This guy is a unconventional thinker, a.k.a. like an Elon Musk, a.k.a. like a Warren Buffett, a.k.a. like a George Soros, a.k.a. like a Carl Icahn. And our conversation, which was supposed to be 15 minutes, ended up being 2 hours. And the guy was right with me on everything I was saying about blockchain. He said, yeah, I've checked that out. Yes, I've checked that out. Yes, I'm looking into this. He told me he was going to hire somebody specifically with blockchain credentials to be in his company. He turned around and he did it 2 months later. And listen to this. His original company that he had before he took over, then K6 and now SURG Holdings, was a telecom company. And he was doing great things with the telecom company, going after, the disenfranchised portion of our population. And also, he was servicing people who had government subsidized telecom services. So he had a locked-in population base that was paying him consistently. He also had connections with another entity, and he was in about, I can't remember correctly, 11 or 13 states at the time. Might be as much as 19 states. I have it in his file. And he had a friend who could put him in almost 30 to 40 additional states. So I'm sitting here listening to this guy. And in Oklahoma, he really had a foothold. Okay? And this guy is known for, Brian Cox, for saying what he's going to do and doing what he's going to say, period. So he talks to me about a master plan that he's unveiling. And I was so impressed, I said, you need to talk to my Wealth Institute family members. Now, at this time, the stock's trading at 28 to 34 cents. This is back in September of 2017. So for those of you that are members of the Wealth Institute, you remember, he was inside ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute virtual trader room. We then had him inside Classrooms Out Walls radio broadcast. Okay, he spoke to many of you, all right, live. Then he began to put forth all of the things that he said. The stock that was trading at 20-something cents to 30-something cents. Look at your screen. It broke $1 and moved all the way up to $1.40-something cents. And the legacy traders and investors were so giddy, they sold off. So that pushed the stock price back down. Today, check your PAID alert. The position moved from 70-something cents to over $1 in less than an hour. Listen to me, in less than an hour. That's unprecedented. That's unheard of. And the balance of the legacy investors, traders and investors, once again, they're absolutely giddy. You see they sold off and the position moved back down into the 90s, okay? And as I'm speaking to you right now, it's sitting at, let me take a look, 96 and some change. Family, this company, and I'm going to be talking about this a little bit later on, while there are a lot of companies out there that are faking their knowledge of blockchain, this company is purporting and confirming their knowledge, and they're implementing their blockchain technology capabilities. I bring your attention, okay, those of you members of the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute, you should have gotten an email from our office today with a press release issued today pertaining to SURG signing an agreement with the state of Oklahoma, okay? The state of Oklahoma Municipal League. Now listen to me, as we see now what others see eventually, this is what will make you wealthy when you can monetize information like this. I'm reading directly from the press release issued by Global Newswire today, January the 25th, exactly 4 months to the day from when Chairman and CEO Brian Cox was here inside the Classroom Walls radio broadcast. And it says, and I quote, SURG Holdings Inc., companies whose subsidiaries operate in various sectors, including blockchain technology software, telecommunications, social media marketing, and cryptocurrency mining, announced that its wholly owned subsidiary, SURG Blockchain, has signed an agreement to partner with Oklahoma Municipal League in facilitating utility payments. Listen to this. For up to 1.7 million households across the state of Oklahoma. The SURG blockchain software platform licensing technology will assist residents of Oklahoma in making more convenient and timely payments while increasing revenue assurance for utility companies. Family members, utility companies are what? Recessionary proof. Go back to our training. You want to get paid some of the time, you invest in what? What society wants. You want to get paid all of the time, you invest in what? Society needs. Society needs utility companies. Let me continue. SURG CEO Brian Cox states, and the article quotes, partnering with OMI, the Oklahoma Municipal League, will rapidly accelerate the expansion of our distribution and transaction network throughout the state of Oklahoma. Cox continued, this is huge too, because we are the first blockchain company to sign a deal with a government entity. Once again, SURG is the first blockchain company to sign a deal with a government entity. This press release was released earlier today. The article goes on to say Oklahoma has more than 1.7 million households within its more than 500 municipalities across the state. And due to the vast rural areas, many of those homes are not conveniently located near municipal offices to pay their utility bills. Most of these rural municipalities lack the ability to receive payments outside of regular office hours. SURG payment software, talking about utilizing that blockchain, will provide these utility customers a convenient method to pay their bills at local stores on the SURG network. In addition, it will allow municipal governments to foster economic growth in their communities by partnering with private sector businesses. Mr. Cox went on to say, and I quote in the article, we appreciate the endorsement of our software capabilities and impact on utility companies, local businesses, and ultimately making life more convenient for many residents of Oklahoma. We will pursue the same model in other states, added Cox, end quote. Did you hear me, listeners? See, this is that unconventional thinking that this gentleman harbors. He said, we will what? Pursue the same model in other states. And they're going to use Oklahoma as the template. This is huge, family. Now, this is something that we must be able to monetize, right? N-O-W. We must see now what others see eventually. When we see the stock run up the way it is now, and you see this, the brief sell-off, that's nothing but the old investors who was holding the stock when it was at 20 cents and 30 cents. They're taking their money out. Fine. C'est la vie. Good riddance. Be gone. Okay? Because this stock is moving. And there are some things that this genius of a chairman CEO, Brian Cox, is about to roll out that's going to move this stock to the $2 range easily within the next year, okay, before the end of 2018 and certainly before the middle of 2019. Huge profit potential at a very, very affordable price. Now, we've made a request through the front office of SURG to have Mr. Cox be a guest once again here inside the Classroom Not Walls radio broadcast, and hopefully his schedule will allow him to come inside the virtual trading room once again to talk directly to you, my beloved ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute family members. And while there are a lot of companies out here, okay, perpetrating like they know how to utilize blockchain, and they're perpetrating about their sincere effort to further the technology, SURG Holdings, with its wholly owned subsidiary, SURG Blockchain, they are actually doing it. And I beseech you to find one other blockchain entity out there, okay, that is actually doing things of this magnitude that will allow people who are underserved, people who are in rural communities, not to mention those that are in the urban areas, to really cash in on the convenience that blockchain technology provides. Now, one of our darling positions, Navita, has us in all things blockchain, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later on in today's class for Not Walls Radio broadcast. And by the way, that position is paying us 325.52% profit today. This is a super economical way to get into blockchain technology. And this CEO, Brian Cox, he's no joke. He's absolutely focused on all of the things that blockchain technology can do and how it's going to reshape the world. Take a look for yourself as you are at the website, at yahoofinance.com, and look at the stock's activity. It speaks for itself. You will continue to get PAID alerts sent directly to your cell phone on an ongoing basis pertaining to this wonderful position. And for those of you that are out there talking about, well, you don't have enough money to trade and invest, and boy, you know, you barely have enough money to make ends meet, and look at the stock price. Okay? There's no excuse. The next time you want to go buy that Happy Meal, next time you want to go buy that new pair of shoes, next time you want to go to Red Lobsters, you need to be thinking about SURG, symbol SURG, to get your PAID. Blockchain exposure for real. Blockchain technology authenticated.